up?
Hmm?
Do you need something to hold that up?
No. I think you are. You've now been live for like 16 seconds.
Sorry for the delay. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, but here we are. Welcome to the Thursday Threads online book club. You know, in hindsight, instead of doing it on Tuesday, we should have done it on Thursday, but that's too close to the weekend. So we'll keep the Thursday Thread book club on Tuesday. Tonight we want to talk about The Cat, the Quilt, and the Corpse by Leanne Sweeney. I really enjoyed it. Would like to know what you guys thought, if you'd had a chance to read it. Before we get started, though, I have to brag on my son. He likes to walk up to Dollar General and do a little bit of shopping. And one day he came home, and I have to show you what he bought me. He saw this and thought of me. Sherlock Holmes. It's help Sherlock and Dr. Catson solve puzzles, break codes, and catch Moriarty. I can't pronounce that. That's a tongue twister. But I thought that was really sweet of him. He used his own money, and it's lots of different puzzles. So I just wanted to brag on my son. He's very thoughtful that way. Did you have to look up the different cats that they talked about? I did. And I learned a lot. You pick up little things like, what do you call a group of adult cats? They tell you in the book it's called clouder. And a group of kittens is sometimes called a kindle. Ironically, that's also what we call a group of baby bunnies. And when a rabbit gives birth, it's called kindling. So be sure to comment. Let me know you're there.
And I'm working on getting to where I can see that. We're still having some technical problems.
Did you hear that? We're having a little bit of technical problems, but be patient. But let me know if you're here, and did you get a chance to read the book? If you haven't, you missed out. You need to get it and read it. Whenever I post up a reminder, I always try to include a link. It's an affiliate link with Amazon. You can also find them in used bookstores. If you're in Chattanooga, Knoxville, or Nashville, there is a McKay's huge bookstore.
B's H says hi and interesting.
Hi.
I hope I pronounced that halfway close.
We're glad you joined us. Did you get a chance to read the book? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and just jump in and mention a couple things.
And she said, I didn't know you had this. It just popped up.
Oh, awesome. Well, be sure you join us for next month. We covered last month, we did The Quilter's Apprentice by Jennifer Chiaverini. This month, we're doing The Cat, the Quilt, and the Corpse by Leanne Sweeney. And next month, I haven't announced this yet, so you're getting The Last Wool and Testament. I'm trying to pick books that have something to do with quilts or sewing or thread, embroidery, sewing, crocheting, and in this case, The Last Wool and Testament. It's a haunted yarn shop mystery by Molly McRae. And I thought it sounded really interesting. So we will do this one on the second Tuesday of November. I thought this was a perfect one to read over Halloween. So we have Jillian, who is a widow, and they just moved to this little town called Mercy, and then her husband had passed away. I don't know about you guys. I want to move to Mercy. It just sounds awesome. I want to live there. Um, One of the things that caught my attention was the security guy, Tom, and how he said he had a cat named Dashiell. Now, interestingly enough, Tom is also a private investigator. A very famous author who did, crime stories, detective stories, was Dashiell Hammett. And he created the character Sam Spade, the Maltese Falcon. Little segue here. Humphrey Bogart starred in that movie. And the love of his life was Lauren Bacall, where she is famous for To Have and Have Not, where she said to Humphrey Bogart, "You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You just put your lips together and blow." She actually put a whistle in his coffin, which I thought was very quaint. Okay, back to the book. So Tom's cat, him being a private eye, he named his cat Dashiell, which I thought was just neat. I didn't get a chance yet to look up cat nose prints, which I thought was interesting. And you can tell from the very beginning, she is a major cat lover. And she knows a lot about cats.
You can now see the comments on the TV over there.
Hey! You can, if you're looking for more info, you can find us on Facebook under Thursday Threads Book Club. I also try to post it in Sewing and Crocheting for Beginners and on our CrazyDavesCrew page. And we'll try to include a link to Amazon. It is an affiliate link. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but it kind of helps us out. Kind of helps me pay for my book and Fabric Habit. Worst habits to have, though. Let's see. One of my favorite characters was Ed. I want you guys. The eco-friendly hoarder. Not quite sure how all those go together, but I loved his personality. I loved his girlfriend, who happened to be Tom's mother. There is such a wide variety of eclectic characters in this book, and I think they're very well developed. Let's see. I had never heard of slaw dogs before. So I am curious, have any of y'all had slaw dogs? I'm assuming that's going to be hot dogs with coleslaw. So correct me if I'm wrong, and let me know if you've had one, what you thought of it, and am I right that it's hot dogs with coleslaw? And I also love the name Flake Wilkerson. That was a great name. And Leanne did such a good job in this book. She laid out all the pieces. But I didn't know who it was until I got to the end. You've got missing cat. Jillian comes home and her home's been broken into. And one of her cats is missing. And she knew someone had been in her house because her one cat is allergic to human dander. So I thought that was interesting. I think it was Chablis. Hot dogs with kraut. Okay. Okay, that one I can get behind. That one I've had. I like sauerkraut with my hot dogs. And mustard and some onions. Caramelized onions, not raw onions. I like cooked onions. I also like the way they dealt with, so anyway, she knew someone had been in her house because Chablis was sneezing, having this allergic reaction to human dander. She herself used special shampoo and different things to take care of the cats. The quilting comes in and that she makes quilts for cats. And apparently she does very well with it. So it makes me wonder, I wonder if I could do that. But the reason, but again, the quilt, that's important because there is one quilt that is kind of important. And then you have the corpse. So her cat is missing. Tom comes and puts in security. Turns out she has another break-in. And she recognizes the person, even though they tried to disguise themselves. So she goes to Flake Wilkerson's house to maybe not confront him, but try to find out what's going on. And she sees her cat. The door is open. Her cat's in the driveway. And there's blood. So she wants to find her cat. And she finds Flake Wilkerson dead. Now, I hope you and I would all know, stay put. The police will be there. You don't touch anything. She, in her anxiousness to get to her kitty cat, she actually goes into the house and tries to find them. And then she finds more cats. So it is a cat's in trouble, and she does save all these cats. I do think she did a good job of establishing the characters. I loved her descriptions of Lydia. And I have to confess, because Lydia really doctors up her coffee at the little coffee shop, Bell's Beans. And in her description, she says that, Lydia is walking away, sipping on her milkshake disguised as a coffee. I have to confess, sometimes my husband used to laugh at me and tell me I drank hot chocolate. We've since gone to black, but every now and then I still like to put in the cappuccino mix and some creamer, and I'll tell you, a hot chocolate, a packet of hot chocolate with some coffee poured in, and that makes a really nice evening drink. Very relaxing, very chocolatey. I don't quite have the physique that Lydia has, because she was very proud of certain things, very flamboyant. Really came across, and you really got a good picture in your head of what Lydia was like. So I liked that. I liked Candace real well, the police officer who wanted to be more than just a bee cop. Very much in the mode of wanting to be forensics and very concerned about evidence gathering. Because I looked up Tonkinese. That is a gorgeous cat. Absolutely beautiful. And I looked up something about the Abyssinian, which I believe that was Syra, the one that had been catnapped by Flake Wilkerson. And I thought it was interesting because they talked about the fur being ticked and how, the strands would have different colors. Well, with us raising rabbits, I was actually familiar with that. Sometimes you can kind of blow at the fur of your rabbit and you can see how it comes out, and you can see all the colors. So it was neat to something that I was fairly familiar with. I also like the way they handled her grief over her husband. Anytime, you have a widow or a widower, you always kind of expect it to be very maudlin. It actually was quite beautiful. I really liked, if you've not read it and you're going to read it, be prepared for page 42 and 43. It just was quite lovely how she remembered him and how they would react, and sitting in his chair. Let's see. I'm one of my other notes. Oh, yes. Honesty is on our side. Throughout the book, it was a thing if she had to tell the police everything, even if it meant somebody got into trouble, the truth will out. You know, you're going to get to it. So you might as well tell the truth and not act like you're hiding something. But they said honesty is on our side. You know, sometimes being honest can make things uncomfortable. But I think it's so much better than trying to keep up with the lies you've told. You know, just be honest. And the truth, at least then you can sleep at night. And you can look yourself in the eye the next morning. Sometimes I think that some of the problem going around right now is people aren't even honest with themselves. And sometimes that makes it hard to get up and move around. So honesty is on our side. I'll tell you too, Leanne had me going in the wrong direction because I really felt like Chase was going to be a person of interest. I really liked all the different characters that they brought in. You had Mike, Becca, Candace, Tom, Ed. And all of a sudden, I can't remember Tom's mother's name, but she was a hoot. I loved when Candace and Jillian went to Ed's place to try to find all the flyers. The city had an ordinance. You couldn't put up flyers for yard sales or lost cats. And it was kind of his job to take them down and throw them away. And Tom's mother looked at him and says, "And what things do you toss?" And he had to admit that he didn't throw away anything. And she was so proud of him. And of course, Jillian and Candace are having to watch them hug and her tell him how proud she was of him. But I also kind of liked that he said, you don't know what something's worth. You don't know what it means. And we use things up before we really know their importance. And Jillian has way more patience than I do. When she got all of that shredded up paper and tried to piece together some of the lost cat flyers, I can piece together a quilt and I'm just hunky-dory peachy keen. I don't know if I could do that with shredded up paper. So definitely a persistent woman. Well, I don't want to give it away. But I do think she has some other books, and I can't remember all their names, but it's like the cat, the professor, and the poison, the cat, the lady, and the liar. And they're all going to include Jillian. So she has set the stage with these characters in this town. And she adapts. She learns that there are no secrets in Mercy. Everybody knows everything. And she'd been kind of withdrawn and not gotten out. And then come to find out when she does emerge and start talking to people, they already knew all about her. But they made an assumption, being a widow, that she was, older. Don't quite understand why it has to be older women who quilt. But it's not about you guys. I'm a youngin'. Yes, I am. Yeah, and my husband's over there laughing at me right now. Oh, from last month.
The Quilter's Apprentice.
The Quilter's Apprentice. Jennifer Chavarini, which we did a live on that, so you can also watch a video. I could not put that book down. it was a constant. She had you, what happened next. And I loved her book.
And you have that in our shop, yes?
Yes.
And I just put the link in the description.
If you go to our little Amazon shop under books, I've got some of these all in there and some other of my favorites, some of the favorites from my kids. And we will be keeping that up to date. I'll tell you one of the things I'm loving about this. I can sit down and read a book and I'm working. I love it. I feel guilty, but I'm working. I'm working. I get to read and work at the same time. And I have been having a lot of fun looking up online, looking on Amazon, looking in the back of books. I'm going to look up a book called Deadly Patterns, another book called The Quick and the Thread. There's one called Assault and Batting. They're just, if you look for it, I didn't know there were that many books about people who quilted. And of course, as you find these, they'll suggest some other ones, and there's baking ones, and there's ends and different things. Oh, there's one, Kilts and Quilts. I think the first book in that series is To Scotland with Love, which I already have, but I haven't read it yet, but that's going to be on the list too. Well, like I said, I don't want to give too much away if you haven't read it. I really think if you like cats, and I do, as you can tell, when my son, when he saw that, he thought of me. And I loved learning some of the things that she talked about. If you pay attention, you can learn a lot from, oh yes, reading takes me to another world. Yes, you can forget about some of the troubles and you picture it in your mind. It's when you see it in a movie, they're showing you what they think it should look like. But if you read it, you can make it yours. I loved Belle of Belle's Beans, and I loved the fact that she had some different employees would wear the name Belle, so you would think that the owner was serving you your coffee. I thought that was cute, and if I ever have a shop like that, I'm going to have to remember that always have at least one employee with my name on it. I just thought that was a cute little trick. Let's see. So I liked Belle. I liked Candace. I can't say I liked Lydia, but I did like the way she was described. Jillian's head, she didn't hold back. She calls it like she saw it, and I kind of liked that. But there's no cussing. Nothing. It's a very clean book. Very sweet. And honestly, I'm looking forward to reading the next book to kind of see what happens next in Jillian's life and her 3 cats. And I love that she was able to find the owners of some of these other cats. She got to meet Flake Wilkerson's daughter. And kind of a sad story with that. But you'll have to read the book to find that out. But a lot of reconnecting, a lot of owners getting back with their kitty cats. And if you're an animal owner and an animal lover, and this is your pet, and he or she is by your side, you know what it's like when that one is sick or goes missing. You're willing, you want to do something. And it really addresses that in this book. Like I said, if y'all ever know of a place like this, Mercy, so read the book. See what Mercy's like, and then let me know where I can move to that's like Mercy. I want to move there. Let's see. Well, I did feel bad about Flake and a little bit about with Daphne, Flake's daughter. I love the pace of the book. She very well established of the characters and the settings. The only problem I had is how much eating out and coffee drinking they did. I don't know about you guys. I would rather buy me a big old can of coffee than a single cup of coffee. Yes, they're part of the family. Absolutely. They're your baby. But she goes and buys a sandwich. She goes and gets these coffees, and you and I all both know how much all that costs. I'm waiting for a book where they have them being very budget conscious. That's going to be my book. I also did like, though, the way she talked about the quilting when she was sewing and how her cats would, want to be there with her. Oh, there was one line. Where is it? And she's got cats down to a T. She had all of her pieces of paper all laid out, taping them together, trying to make pictures. So she's in her sewing room doing that, and of course the cats are not happy. And since all three cats were waiting as I cracked the door, I pushed interested noses aside with my palm so I could get out of the room without them slipping inside. They weren't happy about that. If there's anything a cat hates, it's a closed door. And if you know cats, you know that is so true. So true. Definitely recommend this book. Easy to read. And it went quick. Same as The Quilter's Apprentice. Both of these have been really good books, and I would highly recommend them. Next month, let's do The Last Wool and Testament by Molly McRae. Interesting. You see the cat? I think we're going to have another cat. But this time we're going to talk about yarn. It says, Kath Rutledge is about to learn the true meaning of TGIF. Thank goodness it's fiber. That's the name of the spunky group of fiber and needlework artists founded by Ivy McClellan, Kath's beloved grandmother. Though Ivy has recently passed on, the members still meet regularly at her fiber and fabric shop, The Weaver's Cat. I guess that now we know about the cat, which Kath has now inherited, but that's only the first in a series of surprises when Kath returns to the small town of Blue Plum, Tennessee, to settle her grandmother's affairs. I think that's another one that got me interested. Anything that's set in Tennessee, I'd like to read about. There's been a murder, and it seems her grandmother was the prime suspect. Before Kath can begin to get a little help from the members of TGIF and a stubborn spirit, she sets out to unravel the clues and hook the real killer. So I can't wait to start reading this. Be sure to come back for Thursday Threads on, guess what? It's going to be on Thursdays. Probably not every Thursday. We're trying to do an every other Thursday. And who knows what else we'll get into. You can find us on Facebook, Sewing and Crocheting for Beginners. Also, Crazy Dave's Crew. And if you're interested in our bunnies, you can also find us at the Crazy D Ranch in Rabbitry. Oh, I have to tell y'all, we went to a show. It was the 1st, October 1st. And it was a really good day. It was at Tractor Supply. They hosted this farmer's market, and we sold 5 of our rabbits. And I was really excited to see how affectionate the new owners were with them, and talking about their care and how to take care of them. And I admit I kind of got a big head because I sold like 40 jars of my jams and jellies. So I feel really, really confident and really good about that sort of thing. So just to say, yay, we did good. If y'all know of anything here local to Chattanooga that's going to have another show, let me know. But it's going to have to be after Thanksgiving because we have a grandbaby being born. So we can't, not wanting to get too tied up. I don't see it.
Oh, she said, "You go, girl." And
Oh, thank you. And Paige, you've been great. I really love your comments, and I'm so glad you joined us tonight. And I hope you'll join us for another book club and also for our Thursday threads. I'm working on some baby blankets. I'm working on a Bible quilt sampler with some different blocks. Trying to stay busy, which is not hard. Too much to do and too little me, but I'm having the time of my life. So this is great. I'm so glad you joined us.
in time and date of
Oh, yes.
regularly, in case they miss the
For the book club?
Yeah.
Book club will be on the second Tuesday of the month at 8:30 Eastern time.
approximately, apparently. But
Approximately, yes. You be patient with us. Sometimes we do have those technical difficulties. We're still learning. You don't know until you know. You know? So, unless we have anything else to talk about. And hey, if you guys have any suggestions for books, I am all ears. Of course, there's more of the Jennifer Chiaverini books, definitely more of the Leanne Sweeney books, and guess what? This is also part of a series. I'm trying to pick the first book of this. If it's a series, I'm trying to choose the first book. That way we get our characters established. But I hope you're having a great night, and I sincerely hope you will come back, and I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Crazy Dave's Crew. Thank you so much for joining us.
you want me to stop it now?
Yeah, that'd be good.
I just let it keep going.
You goofy boy.
Honestly, don't know how to stop it the way I've got it set up.
As we just keep going.
Just keep going
Just keep
forever
going?
and ever.
I think my throat will get sore if I do that.
Now, everybody close your eyes because it's about to start moving.
To say, do your jaws ever get too tired to chew?